Because imagine if you got the coaching here, like let's say, when did you start like this particular role?
2019.
There you go, 2019, so about 6 years ago, nearly five.
Hmm.
So like, where do you feel like you could have been if you did something like this here about 6 years ago?
I probably could be further along than I am.
Yes, right? Why now do you feel like it's the time for change?
Um, like I said, I kind of have gotten out of the prospecting of my
Sure.
daily thing, and I want to get back in. I know how important that is to keep prospecting, to keep growing, and to get the to where I want to be. And my next year, I just like you said, I'm technically going. I'm on year 6,
Yeah.
so I hit my 5-year plan, and I have a 10-year plan. So that's now my new 5-year plan. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to not hit it. I want to actually like do better than it. I have my stretch goals, I have my, things like that. So
When it comes to hitting those goals, it takes a level of like commitment to be
mhm.
wanting to get there, but to also be able to get there. Would you say you're actually even willing to invest in yourself to be able to get to that next level?
I Yes, I would say that.
So what do you feel like you need in terms of advanced sales training? Like what's your like ideal criteria to get to that level?
Um, for me, I think that the ideal criteria would be to have some guidance as to consistency,
Yeah.
um, what I need to do daily, monthly, like have that whole like, here's how you build it. You know, Before it was, drinking from a fire hose, and it was, just I didn't have a book, so I had to create my book,
Sure.
um, and then I got the book, and it's a good book. I'm really pleased with it, but I need to keep adding to it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of like that's what you want to learn. Now, when it comes to how you learn best, what way would that be for you? How would you learn a skill best?
practicing. I'm all about the practicing. I drives my office manager crazy when I tell her like role playing sucks, but it's very helpful.
Yes, 100%. Now, for you, because obviously there's a goal that you want to get to. Like, what is that goal? Like, with the
I
right skills that you would want to get to, let's say month to month financially.
Month to month financially, I want to my first goal is to get to 42,000 in
Okay.
commissions a
Is
month.
that per month? Okay, cool.
Yep.
How far are we from 42 right now?
With the down market right now, I'm hanging at 37,000.
37. Okay, that's a pretty honest goal. I guess, like, what's the actual goal, though?
Um, my actual goal is I want to be $1 million producer.
Got you. Okay, so you want to be making at least the 80s per month.
Yep.
Getting to that 80, because we've tons of clients in your industry that we train that are at that level, making six figures per month. I guess getting to that, let's say just 80 mark, what does that do for you personally, rather than just putting more zeros in your bank account, would you say?
It gives me the flexibility to um to focus on the areas that I enjoy more.
Mm. So what kind
That
of
gives me that balance for my family so that I
got
can um know that, I've created a good income stream that I can don't have to stress about like, hey, it's Easter and I'm making sure that I get 2 phone calls in that I know I need to get.
got
And not that I don't want to make those phone calls, but hey, family time is family time and it's really important too.
got you. So you don't want to look back and know that you could have spent more time with your family, but you didn't.
Yep.
Got you. So for you, like being able to become ultimately that mother for your children, also your family, to be there and present all the time, what does that
Hmm.
like? How would that actually allow you to feel to become that version of yourself, though, who can make the money that she wants to, but also do the things that she wants in her life?
Oh, I feel like then I'd feel that I would say fulfilled.
Right.
You hear that a lot. People want to be fulfilled, and I think people chase a lot of things to try to get that fulfilled feeling.
Sure.
Um, uh, I know for me, what's important is being able to make sure that my family's provided for, and um, to give each of them the time and what they, is important to them for our relationship. Because when I get to be 80 years old, it's
Mm,
really my kids that are gonna be around, my husband, my kids,
yeah.
my grandkids, things like that. It's not my best friend. I'd like to say that she's cool and all that, but I work with a lot of 80-year-olds and it's it's their immediate family, that's there and
Right.
saying that they're having that relationship with.
Yeah, 100%. Because you don't want to be on that deathbed looking or knowing that you could have or should have done something, but you didn't, right?
Yep.
I
Yep.
guess that's always the top of the mountain, looking at the feeling of like when you get there. I guess we always have to look at the bottom of the mountain, right? Which is like the feeling of what happens if we never get to experience the feeling of what it's like to become that carry, though. We keep staying the same cycle. We keep working 6, 7 days a week. What happens then, though?
You get burned out, you get stressed out, you uh, don't do healthy activities.
Right, 100%. Because you start losing time for yourself. Because I've been there, right? And I understand how you're.
Yep.
So I guess for you then, do you feel like it's possibly time for a change?
Do I feel it's time for a change? Is that
Yes.
what you asked? Yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
Okay. Well, do you have pen, paper, anything you could write on? I think I have the solution for you.
I do have pen and paper.
Okay,
And
good stuff. What I'd like you to write, if you can, is the program that we're going to be going into, which is the NEPQ inner circle. If you could write that down.
okay,
Good stuff. Now, once you've written that down, I want you to write down what the funding is going to be required for that program. And it comes in
okay.
at 15,997, if you could write that down. 15,997. Once you've written, do you feel like that structure, though, could ultimately help you get to where you need to be?
Yeah, I think I would.
Okay. Why do you feel like you could?
One, I feel like there's a system.
Yes.
And two, I would have the support as long as I committed to attending these calls.
Yeah. Well, look,
Like
I'll tell
if I'm
you.
not doing it, I just don't feel like,
Yes.
you
Well, I'll
know.
tell you one thing. Like, none of our prospects who come in are 100% committed, right?
Hmm.
But what we are bound to do as a company is to help you reframe and shift your way of thinking and help you be committed. You're not supposed to be the 10 out of 10 version of yourself when you come into the program. You're not supposed to be the carry who you've always wanted to be already. What we have to do is help you shift into being that carry. So that's our goal. Commitment is
Okay.
you're supposed to have 100% when you start, but that's what we're going to help you gain. How do you get more commitment? By seeing more results. Because
Yep.
the more money you start seeing coming in, the more results you see, the more time you get to spend with your family because you're seeing all these results, the more happy you're going to be and the more willing and wanting you're going to be to do this program.
Hmm.
And that's the ultimate goal. Now, next steps are really, really simple. What we do is we give you access to the portal, we book an onboarding
Okay.
call with your coach, and then we start building like a step-by-step game plan for you from here on out. And then we go from there. In terms of moving forward, though, like how would you like to proceed from here?
Um, I know I want to do this. I'm just in the middle of my CHFC, which
Mhm.
ends in 3 weeks. So I'm kind of thinking once I get that under that test and finish that studying, then I'll have the time to be able to commit to what
Sure.
this is.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
what I'd
think
rather
that's,
you do is
yeah.
10% of something rather than 0% of nothing. So what I want you to do is get the fundamentals down now. So even if it's just like passively learning the portal
Yep.
until that time comes, would be 10 times better than you doing nothing and then just jumping into it, right?
So I will say it is a little bit more expensive than I thought it was going to be.
Sure. Well, tell me this, Carrie, like money out of the equation, like would you do this?
Oh, I'm going to do it. I just have to figure out,
Sure.
but like I said, it was a little bit more.
A month. Yeah. Well, look at it this way, right? Because at the end of the day, once you learn the skills, what is going to come with it?
I'm going to get more money. No, I get it.
Right. The
Yeah,
hard thing is just committing, right? You're human. Of course, it's going to be hard committing and doing something like this because it is a big step and a big financial step and something you haven't done before. And you're human, so you're feeling a little bit of like fear and uncertainty. Would that be fair to say?
totally fair.
Right. And the one thing is like we can overcome it in life in one or two ways. Is we either let it overcome us or we overcome it. Because at the end of the day, it's like you're on a bridge, right? To use this analogy. On one side of the bridge is where you are now, in a position where you're doing okay, but truly not in the position that you want to be in. In the other side of the bridge is truly the carry who you want to be. The one who's ultimately been able to make 70, 80 grand a month, who's been able to ultimately have the financial freedom, but also time freedom for herself and her family. Now, as much as I'd love to cross that bridge for you, I can't, right?
Right, right.
You have to cross that yourself. Tell me one thing though, Carrie. Like, are you committed to doing like everything necessary and everything possible so you can get to that other side of the bridge for yourself and also your family though?
I am committed.
Mhm.
I tell you really that my fear isn't the commitment. My
Sure.
fear is the time availability just right now because I'm in the CHFC
Yeah.
and I
Well,
have like and
as
that's the really, I
well as I said,
don't want to not. Like,
Mhm.
even to, like, if I have an extra hour right now, I'm studying to get that done. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
And that's what I said. Like, even if you're driving, you're in the car, I don't care.
right.
As soon as you're
But
just
that's
getting,
what I'm doing. I'm actually doing for my CHFC. Like, I play the videos
yes.
while I'm driving and doing all of that. So I'm just hearing it. So
Yeah.
I guess my thing is I don't want to waste, like, if I'm paying $1,300 a month, I want to be ready and up and running. And I know that I'm just not right there
Yeah.
this second. So there's like, I want to put it on pause till I get my CHFC, which I know I'm going to pass in the next, like I said, month.
Yeah.
So, and then I'll be able to be like, yeah, I'm all in.
Biggest thing about a decision like this is literally just committing and doing that first payment. Because once you get that over and done with, you've already done the hard part. The really hard thing is like going skydiving, right? Have you ever gone skydiving?
No, and I'll never will. I'll just tell you
It's
that.
it's shit scary. I have, right? So, like, it's like you're on that plane though, and it's like that big
Yeah.
day. And it's
Yep.
like the longer you take to jump, the harder it's gonna become. Because what's gonna happen is like you're just gonna be at that cockpit, and then you can think as something that you coulda, shoulda, or woulda done, but you didn't. Or you just jump off
Oh,
that, and you just put one foot in front of the other. You take that step because you know that you want a better future for yourself and your family. At the end of the day, the question you have to ask yourself is not what would you do, Carrie? Because of course, the Carrie who you are right now wants to push it off for 3 weeks, right? Because that's her way of
yeah.
thinking, that's her way of making decisions. But ask yourself this question:
Well,
the Carrie who you want to and need to become, what would she do in this position to put herself and her family in the best position go forward? Though.
okay. Okay.
So, are you ready to commit?
I am ready.
Do you want to be able to sell like I did?
I was
Right.
like, oh yeah. Um,
Okay, that's done. Good stuff. And then we'll get onboarding done here. I know you have a call, so I don't want to keep you too long.
yeah.
I'll get onboarding done here for you in a bit. Let